Welcome to this Bridgewater Now update. I'm John Luck. A traffic stop in Bridgewater ended with 4 people arrested. On your screen right now, you're looking at the 4 individuals who were taken into police custody on Saturday night when an officer made a routine traffic stop on Vernon Street because of a revoked registration. The owner of the vehicle, 21-year-old Mark Cardone from Brockton, was the driver, and he wasn't able to locate his license, so the police had the vehicle towed and inspected. When officers searched the vehicle, a loaded 12-gauge shotgun was found. The 3 passengers were searched, and some of the items found during that search included a loaded revolver, a hatchet, several knives, a bag of marijuana, a scale, and more. It is worth noting that although the 4 arrests took place in Bridgewater, none of those arrested were from Bridgewater, but rather from Brockton and Taunton. The 4 people in the vehicle were all arraigned in Brockton District Court earlier this week. Switching gears, you're looking at the Hometown Heroes banners that you may have seen around town that are currently up in the Bridgewater Public Library. This effort has been on our news programs over the past few years. The organizer of the event, town historian David Moore, told our cameras that there are over 100 banners up, and stories can be read on each local soldier who has served in different conflicts from World War II to today. Some stories are a few sentences and some may fill a page, but with each soldier, a story is told.
We've got a lot of stories in here. Some of the stories range anywhere from just a couple of paragraphs to almost to fill up the whole space. But in the back of the book, we've got a couple of pages written by some of the vets or some of the friends of them. So we're open to all of them. We hope that this booklet, a couple copies of it, will be in the historical room for years to come, so that we can remember the sacrifices that these folks have made. And it's some of the vets have said, well, I was only a cook or I was only a mechanic or whatever. They say that it takes anywhere from 16 to 20 service personnel to support one man on the line or one woman on the line. So every job is important. So we want to hear all the stories. Nothing is trivial. When you give 2, 3, 4, 8 or 10 years of your life to the government, we want to know about it. We want to record it.
And the banners will remain up through February 1st at the library. The Bridgewater Citizens for Civility and Respect will be holding a forum on February 10th inside BSU's Moakley Auditorium. The topic will be From Me to We, Reframing White-Centric Power in the Public Schools. Professor Mary Eric from Plymouth State University will lead the lecture and panel discussion, which will also include audience involvement. For more information, you can contact Sam Baumgarten at sbaumgarten@verizon.net. Let's take a look at the town meeting schedule, and as we remind you all the time, these meetings are open to the public, including the Community Economic Development Committee, who will be meeting in the conference room of the Academy Building, room 201A. That meeting takes place on Friday morning at 10 a.m. The Budget and Finance Committee will meet on Tuesday night at 6:30 in room 201B, and the Town Council will meet shortly after in the Council Chambers at 7:30. You can watch that meeting live on Channel 22 and on demand at btvaccess.com. The ZBA meets on Wednesday night, and the Conservation Commission will meet next Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. You can check the calendar on the town's website at bridgewaterma.org. And finally, turning to your health, and when your child comes home from school with a runny nose and a cough, it's typically a common cold. According to doctors, though, everything that makes your child sick has the potential to spread to others. They do suggest that it's important to teach kids to cough into their elbows and wash their hands frequently to prevent the spread of germs. Also remind children to wash their hands thoroughly with soap and water for a minimum of 20 seconds. For children under the age of 3 who aren't especially good at hand washing, using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer is best. And sometimes a child needs to be kept home not only to recover, but also to keep from spreading illness to others. If your child has a fever, they should always be kept home from school or daycare.
Everything is contagious if it's an infection. Now, whether or not you need medication for it, that's one question. But for the most part, all these infections are contagious, and most times you got it from someone else. It didn't just spring up in you. If you're having fever and if you're having symptoms, generally you should consider yourself that you can pass that fever and those symptoms to somebody else. So the general rule is if you have a fever, to stay home until that fever goes away.
Thank you for watching this Bridgewater Now update. I'm John Luck.